Hey, what's up, it's DJ. Today we're taking an early look at the Volvo FH16 South America from Farm Centro-Sul and Luis 73 Sound. Once released, this can be found in semi-trucks, or you can simply find it in the mods and DLC section right here, starting at $137,000. I'm going to go over all of the customization options first, because this may be the most customizable truck in Farming Simulator 25 right now, and then after that we'll bring it out here and take a look at it and see what all we can do. So then, let's start with all of the different options. You've got configurations, which is going to be for the different axle setups. Then you've got the engine, front tires, rear tires, and auxiliary tires as well if you go with those. There's up to, 4 axles, I think? A roof setup, aero parts, rim designs, hub designs, wheel bolts, mud flaps, antenna, horn, chrome appliques? I don't know what that is, but there's like 7 options for that. Mirrors, exhaust design, mud flaps design, front mounting, side skirts, front bumper, internal accessories, sun shield, adjustable front suspension, fuel tank configuration, stickers, additional lights, tire pressure gauge, wheel accessories, indoor LED sign. Yes, there's an LED sign inside. You've also got light configurations, and then all the colors. All of them. Even the ones you didn't know about. All of them. On our left here, we've got no options whatsoever. This is the way the truck comes, and if you install literally everything, dude, this is one of the coolest trucks I've ever seen. I love this so much. All right, so here we go. You know this is going to take a little while. Configurations. You got your 4x2. Then you've got the 6x2. And then you have a 6x4. So what that does is actually changes it up. So if you go with the 6x2 option, only one of the axles, 2 of the wheels, are going to be moving. However, if you go with the 4, then that means 4 wheels will be running. And yes, you can still raise them. I believe this is a first in FS25 at least. Never seen it before, but super cool, very exciting. Then we get into the fun stuff. If you add another auxiliary setup there, then you can go into the tandem set. So you've got the 8x2, and then another 8x2 here, which is super duper short, and then an 8x4, and then the 8x4 tandem short. This is my favorite design right here, although I did go with the 8x4 tandem long for my yellow truck at the beginning. And that's actually the one that we're going to be customizing here as well, because it has everything. Moving on down, engine options. You have the 420. We can also bump that to 460, 500, 540, and back down again. So all the way up through there. Then we get into the tires. So you have the front, rear, and auxiliary tires. All of these can be changed individually. So the front setups, we'll just kind of go through a few options here. You've either got the Conti Hybrid HT3s or the Conti Crosstrack HS3. So both of those. Then we swing around the rear tires. If you have 4-wheel, then the rear tires will be just the one. All right, couldn't remember. There you go. I've gone through this. I've probably spent 30 minutes to an hour with the truck already before recording, and there's just so many options. So rear tires, again, you can change those up however you like. Then you go with the auxiliary. You can change those up as well. Goodness gracious. Also, if you go with the middle axle there, or that second axle, it's too many axles, man. With this one, it's going to change with the front tires. So heads up through there. Now we get into some more stuff. So you've got the roof setup for the Globetrotter, the Globetrotter XL, or the Sleeper. Now the Sleeper doesn't have anything, and you actually start with Globetrotter by default. So that is there. And you kind of see the interior changing as well. Aero parts, which could be added around towards the back. You've got 2 designs here. You've got added to the back and then added to the top. And there's 2 designs regardless of the roof setup you go for. So if you go for a sleeper cab, then you can add the extra bits in the back or a little bit on the top. If you go with the Globetrotter, little bit on the back, little bit on the top. And if you go with the XL, little bit on the back, little bit on the top. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. Rim design setups here. We've got a few of these. If I can back out just a hair, you could see us changing up. Design 3 is definitely my favorite, especially if you go with hubcaps and black. Oh, it looks so good. Jump it out to hub design. You can change up a few of these. Now, of course, this is only going to change the rear, but you do have multiple options there. Then you get into the wheel bolts themselves, which really I can only see if I go in from the side, but there are multiple different setups here if you want to choose one of those. Then you get into your mud flaps. If we back it up, that's going to change. Basically, you've got, I think it's 7 or 8 different options through here. So here's your design 1, which is nothing. Then you get into 2, and then 3, which is on the front, and then a little bit on the second one, and then it puts on the top, and a little bit on the back one on the top. Yeah. So much, dude. So much. Antennas, we have 3 options here. So you've got one on the right, one on the left, or both of them. Those are your only antenna designs. Horns, we can add those on left, right, or both as well on the front. Those are going to be for all bits. The chrome appliques. So I can't exactly pick out what's up with design number 1. Oh, okay. There you go. On the side, it changes that little set there. And then we get into the fun stuff. So on the side, you can see right beside the window where the seat is. Then we add a Volvo set. Then we add some more chrome down the side. Then we can change that up too. And then we can move some more stuff around. It is so much, so many options through there. Mirrors, so it starts you with all of them. That's default. And then you go to design 2, which is going to be just the front one. And then design 3, which is just the side. Or you could do none if you want. But again, it starts you with all of them. Swinging around to take a look at the exhaust. So design 1 and design 2 are going to be around here towards the side. And then 3, we got to swing all the way around over here. And we get a little bit of a different one. And then back to 1 again. Mud flaps design. We have the standard set or design 1, which are real big around towards the very back. Front mounting. This is just going to cover up your lights. If you like me and run into stuff, maybe a good one for you. Side skirts. These are pretty sweet. Yeah, they look good. Makes it look sporty. Love that. Front bumper, we have a couple different designs here. Basically, we add just like a spoiler lip under it almost. It's kind of cool. Internal accessories, these are going to be things that are mounted on the front. They're these little like circle bits right here. Are those cameras? I think those are cameras, but I don't know for sure. And then we can add this thing hanging down, which I have no idea what that is. But it's there if you want it, I guess. But yeah. So you could do all of the above or nada. I thought it looked pretty cool. Then if we back up just a little bit, we could see the sun shield, which has added a few different bits and bobs. I do like design 2. I think that looks super cool. Then we have the adjustable front suspension. It is going to allow you to raise and lower the front suspension, although you can also raise and lower the 2nd and 4th axles here independently, which is very, very cool depending on what you want to do. Then you have the front fuel tanks. Man, words. Goodness gracious. So starting off standard, you have 755 liters of fuel. And then you can add an extra 500 liters to that if you would like. I haven't had any issues hooking this up to anything, mainly this version being a little bit longer. So that's pretty cool. Then you get into stickers, and I love what they've done here. So you've got the Ocean Race Edition. Again, looking epic right there. The Performance Edition. Very good. 25 years. 30 years, 40 years. You also have Brazil, and then this design, which, if you remember, is pretty similar to Performance Edition. However, it's color selectable. So if you didn't like that yellow, you can actually choose what color you want this to be. If you're curious, I did go for, I think it's the 30. Yeah, I went for the 30 year on the front one. So there is that. However, we are going to go back over to the design is color selectable because I'll show you the color option later. Then we have additional lights, which can be added up. I believe this is just a little light set up in the very back. Yeah, right there. There it is. Tire pressure gauges. And we'll back up just a little bit so you can kind of see what's being added to the truck here. So you can see we have tire pressure gauges added or not. Wheel accessories. So you add those front bits on there, which can be added. Then you've got design 2, which adds more to the duals. And then add again and back and forth. So quite a few different sets there. I like those. Those look very cool. Indoor LED sign. These are added up here at the front left-hand corner of the truck. So this one is the Farm Carrier Centro-Sul. Then you have the Grain Gang, Arrow Gang, Corn Gang, Soybean Gang, Rice Gratitude, or Nada. So they're very cool. They have translated everything down at the bottom for us. However, in the LED sign, they are all there because this is from Centro-Sul. We're going with Farm Carrier Center-South. There you go. TR Centro-Sul. Love it. Yeah, man. Now we get into light configuration. So by standard here, we have the halogen set. These are going to be a little bit of a yellow. Then you can go with LED, which are white, or xenon, which are the same ones I think you'd see in GTA. So that's kind of cool. So you can go back and forth with whichever ones you like. I use halogen and xenon in the intro. Goodness gracious, I had a big yawn right there. And now we're into colors. So I'm going to set every single color to white, and then we're going to go through them. Alrighty, are you ready? Let's do it. I've also changed a few customization options just so we could see more of the change on the truck. So starting off with the main color. So everything here in red, that is going to be your main color. Kind of swinging around towards the front just so you can see everything. That's kind of how I'm going to show everything off. So here you go. Here is your secondary in red. Now, this is more of a metallic style, so one of the ones that I really liked was the Volvo Gray. I thought it looked really, really good and gave it a really nice accent. So that's pretty cool. Then we get into grill color. Around towards the front right through here. Chrome or black, I think would be great options here. But again, you can add whatever you want. Then we have the grill color itself, so we can change that up. So everything around that area, that also is very, very cool. And then we get into windows. Now, this one was an interesting one because, I'll be honest with you, I don't see that changing. So this may be one of those of like, hey, I actually don't know what this is changing. I have no idea. I've seen absolutely nothing that's changing. So, hey, if you see, please let me know. I think it's just a little bit of a tint to the window, but it's so much that, or so little, that even I can't see it. Now we go into mud flaps color. So be around towards the very back. This is why I added all of these on, so you could see what they looked like there. Then we get into the stickers color. And this is why I wanted to add this, so you could see that sticker and see, what all colors you wanted to add to it. Very cool. Then we get ceiling sign. So it's only on the Globetrotter cabin. If we click on this, you can see nada. So let's see if we could change it up here and change up the Globetrotter cabin. Where's that at? Here we go. Click over to it. Globetrotter. So I don't really see anything going on with that setup, but yeah, maybe. Let's see. Let's go with a pink setup here. So again, I'm not quite sure exactly what's changing. There are a couple things where, you know what, maybe it's just out of my realm of seeing or trying to get it figured out. But hey, you get it, let me know. Moving on, the rest of them are pretty easy to see, let's be fair. So you can go with the wheel bolts, which can be all done like that. I did also add some large wheel bolts, so you can see all of those. How cool is that? Then we get into the hubcaps. So we could change these up. So these, of course, all in the center. Usually we go with a nice black for those, but it looks good. Then the hub color itself can be changed. So that is all around towards the inside. Looking good. How's about some more wheel accessories? If you say so. These look awesome in black. I'll show you the yellow truck that I've done, but I think those look super duper epic. And then lastly, finally, rim colors themselves. Yo, all white with some red on there? That doesn't look too bad. So on the outsides, as I mentioned, I took this yellow, gold, whatever you race yellow. This truck right here has every single customization option possible, and I went with a super black with the chrome on the outside around towards the back. I blacked everything out. I just think this thing looks so good. And then of course this is your stock one, absolutely stock, exactly the way you would load in. If you just hit purchased immediately, that's the way it would look. So you could just see how much extra stuff is added. After loading in, there are a couple things that just come on the truck by default. If we turn this guy on right here, we can see we've got raise crane arm and rotate crane right. Then if we go to the other side, we have raise crane arm 2 and extend crane arm. And if we hit left bumper and right bumper, we get nothing. We got to turn on the truck to take a look at these, so let's do that now. There's some really, really good sounds on here. It sounds super, super good. So if we press the left bumper and we start raising the crane, we raise up our window. These are open by default, so we can lower that all the way down, raise it all the way up, and you are good. We can also move our mirror. So if you're one of those people that likes to use their mirror for stuff, though they may be easier or harder to use than FS25 depending on who you are and your thoughts towards that. I won't deny you those. And then we also have the exact same thing on the other side. So you've got your mirror adjustment as well as the window going up and down. As far as the interior goes, if we turn everything on, you can see, boom, good to go. We got the driving coaching right there, and everything is working. Very cool, very awesome, super stable truck, even though I'm using a controller and going 300% on the steering sensitivity. Very good. Yay! She drives real good. I don't, but she does. Certainly got enough power to get in and out of everything. And then here we are on the outside. So this is what everything's gonna look like riding and rocking through. Not too shabby, yeah? It's a, oh no. Yep. Semi-trucks aren't exactly known for being extremely nimble, but I gotta hand it to it. This one is pretty nimble. It is pretty good. Interior, a little bouncy, but on the exterior, not too bad. Even somebody like me could drive this thing. So that's the base version. Let's swap over to the absolutely epically set up version. We'll turn it on and we'll take a look. If we take a look at the left bumper, we've got some extra stuff now. We have raised back axis and raised steering axis, and if we press both together, we get the open crane tool. Now this is going to correlate to all of our axis. So if we start with the raised back axis, we can click that button. It does take a second, so just be prepared for that to take a little bit of a second. And then we can also raise the steering axis. So boom, boom. Raise it up. Still takes a second. There are some time, there is a little bit of time before it raises and after it raises, that there are some other stuff going on. So just be ready for that. Otherwise, I mean, what an absolutely epic setup. Absolutely love it. I will say that the steering axis does appear to always turn no matter what you're doing. So be ready for that. Oh yeah. And if you press both, and drop it. Oh, that is cool. Now, I don't know particularly what the reason would be to drop it, but let me tell you what, it drops it. Oh, yeah. Let's raise it back up, though, because I'm going to have a hard time driving this thing around. Let's see. We'll start with the interior view second, and we've got the big engine in here, too, so even though there's a little bit more weight, we should have a little bit more push going up. Although we do have also 2 more axles on here, so it's gonna be a little bit less. So we did go with the xenon setup for the lights, so those are gonna be shining bright and blue on everything. Looking good, yeah. So we're not taking off as fast. It's not quite the sports lorry you would expect. But boy, let me tell you what, it is very cool. This may be one of my favorite semi-trucks in the game. I don't know what it is about me in particular, but the European style trucks just fascinate me. I absolutely love them. And I totally understand that, you know, not very American, but you know what? I would love to see something like this over here. This is such a cool truck. And all the customization. Gosh. As far as hauling goes, I think you could probably imagine these are going to do just fine by themselves. So what I decided to do was set them up each with 59,000 liters of stones. And I just want to do a little drive around and see how we do. So with this one being the lower power of the 2 sets, I would expect it to not do as well. Although it has less axles, so maybe it'll be a little bit more nimble, I think, possibly. Let's go out here, we'll crank a left, and we'll just kind of see how far we can get and how long it takes before we hit our maximum speed of 55 miles an hour. So far we haven't lost any speed, we are still gaining speed, as a matter of fact. Goodness! Down into 11th gear. See if we could take this turn a little bit wide. 37. Is that a racing line? 38. Are we gonna lose some speed through here? Oh, maybe because of my driving. 36, 35, 40. Oh, yeah, okay. We definitely lost some speed through there, for sure. But you know what? Not too shabby, not too shabby. Let's see if we can jump in here. We're definitely gonna be hitting the 40 or 55 miles an hour. Oh, she's bouncy. 2, 3, 4, 5. Slam on the brakes. There it is. That's how far we made it. I'm gonna pull over to the side a little bit, just so we don't hit ourselves when we come through. Because I'm gonna try that other one too. Not for a second did I feel like this truck was gonna give up on me. Very nice. This one, we're about to find out. I have all my axles dropped down. We've got more power. We've got, well, the exact same load. So let's see how we get along. It is going to 7th gear already. 9th gear in it there. There we go. Come on, give me 10th. 10th? 10th gear. Nope, still in 9th. 10th gear, there it is. All right, so let's see how long this one's gonna take and how it handles. I do feel like we're going maybe a little bit slower with the bigger engine, but again, we've got more stuff on the ground. I guess I could raise those axles and see how that's going to go along with us. Yeah, we definitely gained a little bit more speed up to this point. Pretty sure there's just a little bit more maybe drag, but the towing capacity, yeah, this one's doing A-okay. Though, it is dropping our speed a little bit. Let's go in first person on this downhill section and see if the weight with the speed will bring us to 55 miles an hour any sooner. And I think it's gonna be after. Yeah. Oh, that is very interesting indeed. We still haven't hit max speed yet. And it's gonna go down again. Interesting. I also wonder if it has something to do with the wheels. So on the previous one, I was using the cross-track and the off-road tires. So there's a chance that those tires definitely had an adverse effect when on the road. And if they did, that is pretty clever. Okay, so now I've got the big engine on here, and I've got a couple of the customization options. Oh, it's lifting off the ground, including the adjustable front suspension. I've got that on here too, because I was wondering if maybe that had something to do with it. So we are about to find out how we get along. I will say it does seem that maybe the smaller, we've got less wheels, so obviously there's less weight to move around. I mean, we are booking it with this. Man, this is definitely a sports lorry. Let's go. Smaller size with a bigger engine, it is moving and grooving. Go, 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 go. I have no doubt that we're gonna be able to reach our mark 55 miles an hour before the other one. 7, 8, 9, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is, all the way back there. And even after slamming on brakes, we still beat it by that much. Not bad. And don't get me wrong, there's definitely something to the weight thing there as well. I mean, the stock version, 9 tons by itself. If we run over here and take a look at this guy with all the stuff, weight's important here. 13.81 tons. So much heavier. It's like 4 tons more, which is not a small amount. And then we come over here, if I remove that trailer there, 9.07 tons. So, the same as the smallest truck, but with a bigger engine. So if you want it to move, get yourself a 2-axle. Either way you look at it, no matter which of these trucks you go with, you are going to have a lot of fun. Don't forget, these are for all platforms, and a big shouty outy to Farm Centro-Sul, Luis 73 Sound, for sending the trucks over to show you guys ahead of time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a like, get subscribed, join the GoHam fam, do the notification dance, that way you never miss videos like this one in the future. And of course, as always, check out Farm Centro-Sul, link down below. Hope you have an awesome day. We'll catch you in the next one.